welcome to Spurs Ration TV. Good evening to all you guys in Asia, and of course, good afternoon to all you guys in Europe, and of course, the UK, and of course, good morning to all you guys in Americas, especially Canada, to my brother Brian Daigle. Right? Why I was laughing a bit is because I nearly forgot to press the live button.
Fuck me.
Oh yeah, nearly forgot to press
That's
the
a
live
good
button.
start. Here we
That's
go.
a good start. That's a
I've
good
been
start.
moaning about the doctors for the last 10 minutes, right? And now it's
Yeah.
rubbing off on you, for God's sake.
But Stephen,
The idea was you weren't supposed to imitate them.
yeah. Welcome, Stephen Featley from Stephen Featley TV, Featley TV, right? Arsenal fan, a good friend of mine, and he's happy. He's happy for the time being. I spoke to him earlier, right, about the football.
Yeah,
And of course,
football.
Brad. Welcome back, Brad. Haven't seen you some time. Haven't seen some time. Specialization. How have you been doing, Brad?
I'm doing fine, thanks. I'm sort of 4 months into my I'll say semi-retirement. It's more of a sabbatical than anything, because at some stage I've actually got to try and earn a living. But at the moment I'm okay. But yeah, I'm doing fine. I haven't been on the show for a while, so I had a little bit of time, and I thought, yeah, why not? Why not? Indeed, there's a few things to talk about. A few controversies that may have been happening over the weekend. So.
To be fair, apparently, I'll just say that apparently I'm not supposed to be happy at all. I'm supposed to be miserable as sin because Arteta's put me in the mud, you see. All right. Yeah, I'm supposed to be miserable as sin because all the Arteta-ins are loving it right now, you know. So, right.
Yeah. But just let me go through the chats for a while. Of course, I'll say big up to Coach Connor Hanno. Big up. I know he's not happy because I did a watch along with him on Sunday. Right, he was happy when he was 1-up. Then he was not that happy when we equalized, and of course he was happy again. When
mate, yeah, don't worry. You were getting into that.
Yeah, we'll get into that later. Right, of course, big up to Chris Agamba, big supporter. Yeah, Alan, big up Alan from L's Live.
Hey,
Hope you're doing well, Alan. Hope you're doing well. Right, and of course Ben Kaufman, big up to
Ben, Benny boy,
and yeah, smell the coffee. Right, good of him for doing a show a bit earlier, and of course. Big up the Guguma. Hey, you got the link. If you're free, hop on. Guguma, if you're free, hop on. Right. Okay.
By the way, Guguma. Just to let you know, it's like my name spelled with a V, not PH. Just so you don't. Just for next
Steven,
month.
Yeah. Steven, not Stefan.
Mate,
Jamie, where are you?
The only king in England named Stephen was a PH, but I told him it was wrong in the data, so there you go.
Okay, all right. But of course,
he wasn't the guy. Apparently, he wasn't a nice guy anyway.
Okay. Of course, this is supposed to be the game week 2 review, right? I was more or less doing the banners, but something I got lazy and I didn't go and do the banners since there's an Arsenal fan here and Spurs fan here. I guess any games apart from the games from our two teams played. Apart from that, any standout games for any of you guys to want to talk about? Let's get to Steven first.
Let me see. What would be the standout game apart from our two games? Let me think now. Somewhere up north, I think. Isn't there a team up north called Manchester Unity or something?
No, they came down. No, they came down to Brentford for no, they didn't come down to Brentford. Half of them are in fucking London anyway. For fuck's sake, they're not around the fucking corner. They live around the corner, right? So they didn't fucking make a long trip. So I don't have any sympathy for them.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah,
so
I think we're sort of like skirting round it. I think
Mate, I've been getting. Look, I've had 8-2s and God knows what for fucking years, so I'm loving every minute of this.
I think we all are.
Yeah, but honestly, okay. I guess.
By the way, Guguma, you got it right.
Big up, Guguma. So I guess what you guys are talking about, it's the Manchester United against Brentford, or Brentford against Manchester United. Yeah. So
just bear with me while I just put on my glasses.
Sure. Look at that. Okay. Manchester United against Brentford. Or Brentford against Manchester United, right? United played away and they were smashed. Yeah, they were smashed, right? So even with Ten Hag coming in, and I guess now I think about 90% of the Manchester fan base is having a meltdown, right? 90%. I think there's still 10% of them who are still Glazers in. There's always somebody somewhere still supporting the owners, right? As usual. So let me get to Stephen first. So your thoughts on the MU and Brentford and MU game? Join us, Bobby K.
Mate, I was doing my match reaction to the Arsenal game. Obviously, couldn't do the watch on, but I was doing the match reaction, and I just like went like someone said they were 1-0 up, and then all of a sudden it went 2-0 up. So I was like, yeah, you're joking, aren't you? So I went on like, and then all of a sudden when I checked it on Google, they went 3-0 up. These guys were averaging a goal every 10 minutes. And trust me, if the weather wasn't that hot, trust me, it would have been a goal every 10 minutes. I'm telling you, like Harry Maguire, we've now worked out he can only play for England. Like the biggest IKEA fridge I've ever seen, and he can't defend. Like Luke Shaw doesn't know whether he's coming or going, whether he's going forward or backwards. Like I mean that fourth goal. Where the fuck was they? Like I'm looking, and it's just like the whole of Brentford, the whole of fucking London, like for them to exploit and score a goal. Like, and David De Gea, boy, like who's already fucked up twice in the game, is just sitting there like, help. Like, where is it? Like, I didn't see a defensive line; it disappeared. Like, they must have not took that. Obviously, they must have went on a pitch with just a 4-1, the four in the midfield and the one up front, like, and the two up front. Sorry, like because the back four didn't exist. Like, look, in all seriousness, this is what happens when you've got. And I said this in the last season when they all jumped up and down. We're getting 10 hard, blah 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 blah. And I said, if you don't sort out the board structure, you don't sort out the ownership, this is what's going to happen. You can get any manager, you could get Pep in there, right? The Glaziers and the board structure will let you down, right? Because, yeah, in actual fact, they've been one of the highest spenders in the league, right? So people could say, well, okay, why am the Glaziers? They've spent money. But here's the thing: the Glaziers have put the people that buy the players and make the contracts and sell the players, right, and do all that business in the board. They're the ones that put them in charge, right? So if you put them in charge and you know they're shit at what they're doing, right, and they have been for years, why are you still keeping them in charge? That's why you need to topple down the top. That's why I get why our Man United fans are saying Glazer's out now, right? Because in the end, they're responsible for the board. They employed the board, right? They can get rid of the board if they want to and bring in football people, right? Man City have done it. Liverpool have done it, right? Uh, and look at them, They're the top two in the league. So if if you got the
Also,
right, if you got the right ownership that cared, you'd bring the right football people in, and then actually they wouldn't have a problem because they'd actually back Ten Hag. Because at the minute, one day they wanted one set of players, and the next day they want a completely different set. Like, make their mind up.
yeah, he's also Ten Hag. I mean, it's too early to say whether he's going to be a good manager in the Premiership or not, or the Premier League.
You can't even tell if he's going to be a good manager or not with these players anyway. So down tools against Ollie, Ragnick, Jose, like Louis Van Gaal, they've let down as well. Like, I'm sorry, these players are like bottle jobs.
But he's
All
what I
of
was
them.
going to say. What I was going to say is he's actually come from a very good setup at Ajax. Ajax has always been a really well run club over all these years, with, as you say, football men involved in the position on the board and all that sort of thing. Yeah, exactly. So he's come from that, and he's gone into this debacle. You know, it's and the thing about Manchester United, I'm old enough to remember that Matt Busby, who got them to win the European Cup in '68, and when Matt Busby left, which I think was 1970 or around about that time, they couldn't replace him. They couldn't replace him. It took them ages to replace him. Eventually, Alex Ferguson came in and took him 6 years. And I think they've got the same problem here since Alex Ferguson left. They haven't been able to replace him.
Well, even then, you saw, even in the Glaziers, because of his leadership, he managed to be able to find ways around the problems. And you can see he weren't replacing the right players at all. And that's why David Moyes came in and all fell apart, because he wasn't the same man. But Like Eric Ten Hag is that like this guy's probably walked in thinking, I've seen the situation at Man United. I know it's bad, but like they've probably said, we'll back you, we'll give you this, we'll give you that, blah 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 blah. Right? Uh, uh, so he said, okay, I'll come and join the project. I believe I can turn this around. I'm good enough to turn this around, and he is good enough to turn it around. Right? If he gets the right backing. But if you don't get the right backing, you can't sell the players that have been dog shit and have been letting everyone down for five like all season. They're the ones that down tools last season, right? Because they got told by a manager that it weren't good enough. They weren't doing
Yeah,
hard enough, right? And because of that, they all this what did they decide to do? They decided to be not Man United, right, and actually fight. They decided to be cowards and down tools, right? Simple as that, right? So, but if you don't get backing from the owners and the board, you can't sell those players because you've got no one to place them with. People saying play the kids, but how can you play the kids, right, in the Premier League when they've been playing all you set up for that the whole time? Right? That's going to be a disaster as well. They're not ready. They're not ready to play in the Premier League. That's why they're in the youth setup. Right?
Mm.
So, like, in the end, he's gone in through pre-season and people saying, why are you playing Fred McTominay, for example? He's played most of Fred McTominay for the pre-season. Even the 4-0 against Liverpool in the pre-season. So you didn't think it was that bad.
mm.
But once you start getting into the proper like league, then they realised how crap it was because everyone started taking it seriously.
Yeah.
That's true.
Pre-season, you can never go by the results on
And that's why.
pre-season.
And that's why as soon as they lost against Brighton, you've got Arnautovic. They're offering Arnautovic. They're getting
Mm.
this. They get Rabiot, who's crying to his mum for a no contract. Like,
Yeah.
for God's sake, he's asking his mum to. What's he gonna do? Ask his mum to tie his laces in the dressing room?
Maybe,
Like,
maybe.
Jesus
Why,
Christ.
why would you want to join Man United at this
That's
stage?
the
And
point.
yeah,
Frankie de Jong's now looking at them 2 games and he said, I ain't joining that.
yeah,
That's true.
Barcelona,
yeah,
you're gonna have to force me out. I ain't getting it. Like,
Yeah,
and if that's why he's gone, that's why Chelsea have gone and nicked him. Chelsea will
going
get
to
him
make it.
at the end of the window, same as Aubameyang, right?
Mhm.
And then they're gonna look like absolute frigging mugs, and especially when it gets back by Chelsea when they've got Frankie de Jong in the midfield,
That's true.
because they've let it spiral along for so long, right? To the point, if they just put the money down, Frankie de Jong would be in the club by now, right? And he, you probably wouldn't have seen the sort of mess that you would have saw against Brighton or Brentford. I'm not saying he's the answer to all their problems, but it would have improved the situation. But now he's seen how bad the situation is at Man United and at the bottom of the league. He is never going there.
That's
Never.
true. That's true.
That's why they're now
But
looking at everyone like they look. They basically look. They've seen the transfer list, the who's transfer list are all available, and they've gone. We'll pick him. We'll pick him. We'll pick him. And by the end of the day, they're like, "Oh, we can't get them. Okay, we'll go him for tomorrow. If we can't get them, we'll go him for Wednesday."
Harry
Right?
Winks is available.
we
Granit
got
Xhaka's
Tanguy
fucking
nominate.
available. Take Granit Xhaka. Right? That disgrace
Yeah.
of a man told us to F off and he gets the vice captaincy back by this manager, for God's sake.
But
That's a
Stephen, to
disgrace
tell
in
the truth,
itself.
right? But in their day, right, what the Glazers are doing, I mean, they're just businessmen. If you keep giving them the money, they'll still be there. Simple as that, right? If you take the money away from them, right? But at the moment nowadays, I see, right, a lot of the what I call the home fans, right? Their money don't play that much into it anymore because
No, it pays about a
clubs
third.
like these they generate the funds right overseas, right? If the overseas fans are still buying the jerseys, buying all the coming in as tourists and all that,
Yeah,
they will
but
still
if
generate the
they
funds.
hang on, if Eugene, here's the thing. You go to a Liverpool game, these overseas fans, they see what the guys at the stadium are doing, trying to stop the game. If not, they're walking out the stadium in protest or protesting outside. If they kept doing that every single week and every time they were losing a game, right, because this is not acceptable for Manchester United and that level, right? I wanted that out of Arsenal because this is not Arsenal. This is not the Arsenal I grew up on, right? This is way beyond the Arsenal I grew up on, The Arsenal I would know would never employ a novice manager, right? For starts, right? Everyone should have been protesting over that for starts, but no, everyone lowered their expectations, right? And that's what Man United have done. They've lowered their expectations, right? In the end, if they decide to protest every single week because they can't deal with this anymore and they can't stand for it, because this is Man United, they expect with the amount of money they spend, the amount of money they earn, they should be doing a lot better, right? Not saying win the league every single. No one has a divine right, but at least do better and actually compete for even the Europa
You
League or
want to
the
compete, don't you?
Champions League.
You want to be
At least,
one
yeah,
of
at
them.
least
No,
compete
but,
for the
but
Champions League
Steven,
spots
don't
and then
forget.
Tottenham for the
No,
league.
don't forget. Two
But
seasons ago,
if you
they
do,
were second.
but if they keep protesting, the overseas fans are going to start seeing that and saying, "Well, I need to do that. If that's the best thing for my club, and they're saying it's best thing for my club, the overseas fans will start following. I bet you.
Hopefully. Yeah. But there are a lot of overseas fans
I
now,
hopefully
actually.
don't. I think they just stay like that, mate.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
we're all talking about how to solve the problem, but really, who cares? It's like,
Well, no. I mean, look. As much as I could joke about saying, yeah, who cares and everything, I don't. I can't stand the Glazers either. Right? They're part of the problem as well as long with
yeah.
FSG,
Conquest and the
Gronkeys as well.
Learys and the
Right? In the end, right, they're holding out for whatever they can just until the Super League comes along. Right? That's why this new owner, I'm not taking it seriously unless they offer silly money, and I'm talking silly money, like empty your Siggin savings account, to absolute a pittance. Um, he's not getting it, so it's just for me. It's just good PR for him because he's got a whole lot of the Man United fan base getting their hopes up, and all of a sudden getting a lot of support from them.
and buying Teslas, right?
In the end, but in the end, he's not going to end up buying them because
Nah, it's not.
if the Glaziers want to sell, they'll sell right 9 billion.
yeah,
10 billion,
Elon Musk has
15 billion.
he was
But,
joking.
but that's what I'm
Didn't he?
saying because they'll make all that
Yeah.
in the Super League once it comes along because it is
I,
coming.
yeah, I've
It will
heard Elon
come.
Musk who tweeted about I'm going to buy Man United. Apparently, I've heard
Nah,
he's
he's
come out and said
joking.
it was just a joke. So
Oh, that's a joke.
So,
That's an April Fool's joke, mate. How's that? You got Elon Musk. You got celebrities taking the piss out of him now. For fuck's sake. It's bad enough when you got your rivals singing, and when you got big celebrities that make like on Twitter and everything take the piss out of Man United. Then you know your club's at the bottom. Even Arsenal didn't have that at one point. For fuck's sake.
but like you said, like we all, I mean, to tell the truth, right? Being a football fan in Asia, right? To see Manchester United at this level now, it's sometimes quite saddening because predominantly the fans in Asia are Manchester United fans. Honestly, yeah,
What do you think
predominantly
about it?
are.
Back in the
Yeah,
day, it used to be Man United and Arsenal.
in Liverpool. Yeah, back in the day, it was
No,
Manchester
fuck,
United.
no, 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 no. I'm talking about the Premier League, right?
Oh, Premier League. Yeah, even the
Yeah,
Premier League,
in
Manchester
the,
United.
back
It was just
in the
Manchester
back in the
United. Yeah.
no,
Hold on,
but
Stephen. Let me bring on again another guest. Hi, Guguma.
hey, Guguma.
Hi,
Haven't seen you in a
everyone.
long time,
Hey,
Guguma.
Hi,
How you been
Eugene.
doing?
Hi, Stephen. Hi, Brad. Oh, it's
how you
good to
doing?
see you. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a long
to see you
time.
again. It's been a long time. How have you been doing? We've been just having a good chat about Manchester United. Have you got any thoughts about Manchester United?
I don't know. I'm just kind of, I feel bad because I feel bad for
I feel
10
bad.
months.
I feel bad.
I don't know. It's just gone so terribly for them, you know? But yeah. Mhm.
I'm sure Guguma, right? Especially before Son joined Spurs, right? I
Mhm.
think maybe like 20% of South Korean fans were Manchester United fans, correct?
Yes. Because of
Yeah,
Park Ji-sung, for sure.
yeah, Park Ji-sung, don't forget. Yeah, Super
mm,
Park. Yeah, Park Ji-sung,
Right.
yeah. Yeah.
I actually we had a guy when I used to work for Sega. We had a guy who joined us who was South Korean, and I sort of thought to myself, he's either a Man United or Spurs, and he turned out he was Man United. But yeah, that's probably true.
but
Yeah,
this is the thing, right? And but like I was saying, is like back in the day, like it was Arsenal and Man United fighting each other for a title. And look where the clubs
Mm.
are now.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
That's why I've said until this manager gets me to compete for a league, right? He's not going to prove me wrong. Even if everyone in our fan base will absolutely like knock one out if we get top four. They'll celebrate it like they won the Champions League. They'll celebrate it like they won the damn thing, right? But that's only part of the story, right? That's only part of the process. That's like, well done. You're now in a market that we can now get better players. Now go and come and push for the league. Stop competing for the league, then I'll back you. Because then you're
And
good enough.
when Park Ji-sung was playing for Manchester United, we had Lee Yong-pyo, right?
Yes, with Yong-pyo. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, were they on the same timing or a couple of years off?
I think it was Yong-pyo joined like a few years, I think 4 or 5 years after Park Ji-sung started at Man U. I'm not sure, but yeah, later on, I think.
Yeah, but Park Ji-sung had quite a long career in Manchester United, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Very good player, wasn't he?
He was a very good
bad
player.
player for them. He
Yes,
on a
he
few
was
times.
there.
But
For
then
a
again,
long
but then again, like that's probably also Ferguson being that good at turning average players into a well-drilled machine.
World-class player, world-class player.
I mean, that 2012, 2013 side where he went out and won his last title.
Yeah,
That should never have won a title. Never.
Yeah, that team was deteriorating really bad. Yeah.
Like some of the players in that should never want. Like Tom Cleverley, you tell me Tom Cleverley.
Tom Cleverley.
Come on.
Oh my gosh, yes, Cleverly, I remember.
Yeah, where is he gone these days?
Yes,
Watford.
what happened to him?
I think it's in Watford, right?
He didn't make a Cleverly move. That's why.
Yeah. Of course, coming we'll stop talking about Manchester United, right? Because I think that will be a Manchester United fan problem, and we don't have a Manchester United fan with us today. We should have had one. Stephen would be very happy if he had one.
Just to laugh at them,
Yeah.
He'd just be sat in the corner like, I can't say anything, can I? That was like me after the first 3 games last season. I was like, I can't say anything, can I?
I know. We did a few shows right after that.
No, I just joined in. What really pissed off the Arsenal fans with me is that I just joined in with it. You know, like, you take the best out of your own club. So, well done.
Before we
do? Sit there and cry? Like, come on.
Before we get away from Man United, I just have to say that where I used to work at Sega, my desk used to overlook the new Brentford Stadium. So if you're watching that game on TV, you can literally see where I used to sit on the TV in the back. So they're sort of my local team, really. So
all I'll say about that game is that game was too hard for Man United.
Too hard. No, he's going to have 7 hard now, right? So let's see what happens.
Yeah. No, that's next week.
But guys, don't forget, right? I think there's a protest going on at the home game this coming Saturday. They're playing Saturday against Liverpool, if I'm not mistaken, or Sunday.
It's on Monday night, isn't it? It's Monday night.
Oh, Monday night. Sorry, on Monday night. Right,
Monday
there's a protest, right? Whether the stadium is going to be empty or not. Oh, I don't know where Google went. Let's see where she comes back. I'm not sure whether the stadium will be empty or anything like that. But
I think that I've heard.
But don't forget
Eugene, I've heard they're going to try and do what they did last time, which is try and stop the game.
See what the fixtures are. I don't even know what the
game again.
I think I do feel that they're trying to they're thinking about trying to. I have heard their plan is the same plan as what they did last time after the season. I try and stop the game going ahead.
So if they
I wouldn't be surprised because the last thing Man United need is an absolute drumming by Liverpool.
Yeah, but I won't be surprised if they beat Liverpool.
If they can get that game postponed, that would be ideal because that's the last thing they need for their confidence is getting drilled by Liverpool about 6 or 7-0. So if they can that's probably why they like in the protest they're probably thinking about trying to get this game cancelled.
Yeah. No, if you try to get the games cancelled, then you see this season getting games cancelled, right? Unless there's something.
If you can get this game cancelled this season because of fixture congestion, you should just be deducted 3 points.
Yeah, because they said there will be something. Yeah.
Forfeit 3.
So I mean, if you know there's a protest going on, they have to.
But then that might be a better bet than actually playing the game.
Yeah. But guys, don't be surprised. What if Manchester United actually beat Liverpool?
Well, the funny thing is that
mate, I know you were smoking something earlier. Ain't something funny, is it?
Mind you, that would actually be advantageous to Spurs and Arsenal, to be fair, because we're probably going to be more rival with Liverpool this season than Man United. So,
but then to be fair, I said Liverpool going to win the league, and all of a sudden the first 2 games have let me down.
That's true. That's true. But let's see how that goes, right? We'll the truth. We'll go. We'll
move
fair,
on. I'm not going to take anything away from Crystal Palace and Fulham. They did really well. Deserved the point.
That's true. That's true. And any more games before we come to the Arsenal games and the
Nunes decided to do Wrestling Rumble and Mania, didn't he?
No. Nunes just continued what happened on Sunday.
He just practiced. He just practiced what he did. What Zinedine Zidane did in the final. Like let's try and headbutt someone.
Yeah. But the thing is that what I saw is that like Nunes was like up to Anderson's here. So when he hit him, it also hit him in the chin.
I haven't seen it yet. I haven't actually seen it yet. I sort of only saw the last sort of half an hour.
Lee and Park came to PL same season. Okay, Cratch. That's what I was thinking. Lee and Park came in the Premier League in the same season. Yeah.
It doesn't. But it doesn't really matter if you see it or not. You shouldn't be doing it. And if that Nunes now come out and apologise, Nunes is now.
Steven, Chris.
Hey, that's not fair.
Okay. We got Chris. Chris. Right. Got him. Buddy, you want to join us? I can send you the link, buddy. Let me know.
Chris. Right? As an Arsenal fan, I'm not one of these deluded wankers, right? That thought because we're under the rules, we can get it cancelled, right? After we sold Maitland-Niles on loan and sold Chambers as well, right? I sat there and said, because they knew they had to play, I think it was the Congo, wasn't it? Patino. They had to play Patino in the midfield, which meant there's lost Nottingham Forest. I said, you've put us in this situation, Arteta, right? Not COVID, right? You knew this and you still did it, right? So you have to take the consequences and you have to play Spurs with Patino in the back four, in the middle four. And actually, with the players that Spurs had out, we probably had a better chance of winning.
Yeah, that could have been pivotal in the end. If you look at the whole season, that could have been pivotal.
It did in the end, because then we played them at the end, and then Rob Holding decided to be an idiot, right? But like I said, we should have just gone into that game because we created that by ourselves, right? Realised we screwed up by getting rid of these players, right? And then looked for a cheap way out. Right? One player for COVID shouldn't get a game cancelled, right? And I said that from start, right? And we had a preview which turned into just an Arsenal Tottenham game talk about the whole situation, right? That I did on the channel. I just turned it into a talk about it. Right?
I think the Premier League is on as well.
I was just fuming as the Spurs fans, right? Because I'm sorry, it's not an excuse. It's not an excuse.
Yeah, I know.
We had a few players out as well from memory. I think we had.
That's the thing, but you were up to playing the game. Let's learn half their squad out, right? They managed to play their games.
And the irony being, those 2 games were one we won in the last two goals in injury time, and then beating Arsenal at Tottenham. So it's ironical that those 2 games that are postponed probably led to us getting Champions League football.
It gave you the chance for you to learn under Conte.
Yeah, I know. But to tell the truth, guys, let's move on, right? Of course, the next game that more or less we're going to talk about is the Liverpool game, right? Did you guys watch it? To tell the truth, it was
saw the last 20. I saw it probably at 1-0 Palace with what's his name getting.
Palace won nothing on get quick points out of that game.
So I literally switched. This is typical me. I literally thought, oh, that's good. That'd be good if Palace could get a win here. And of course, as soon as I switched on the TV, Liverpool scored. So
That's true. Liverpool scores, but I don't know. Liverpool dropping early points, right? Manchester City doing well, Corey, scoring 4 goals against Bournemouth.
Still a long way to go. Yeah.
Still a long way to go. I understand, still a long way to go. But the signs were there, right? Last season, Manchester City didn't start well, right?
I do think Liverpool needs to invest, though. I do think. Because I can't
I,
carry on
but
like this.
do you guys think that after the loss of Mane, right, has it actually affected them a bit?
No,
I mean, it's a
no,
big
because
loss, but it's
it
a big
is a
loss.
loss. But they
Yeah.
have Luis Diaz to replace him, and he's been
Mm.
quality at the end of last season. So I don't think it's really that. I think it's the fact that I think there's something missing in their midfield.
They've got a lot
Midfield,
out, haven't they, in the midfield as well? A few injuries
yeah.
there. So.
But yeah, they have injuries issues if I'm not mistaken. But the thing is that I think their midfield is another aging midfield. They do have to upgrade.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
James
Yeah.
Milner came on, didn't he? He's about 57, isn't he, James Milner? He's older than me.
Mate, he's getting his
Milner
pass.
came on. Yeah, right. So I
No,
guess
I don't.
maybe
Look, Milner's the most underrated player in the Premier League. He's one of the most underrated players because he
But
always is a workhorse.
that said, I mean, Liverpool went to a newly promoted team on day one, and then on day two at home to Palace. So it's despite all their injuries and that, there's still 2 games that I imagine they would have looked at winning. So
that's true. That's true. Right. And of course, any more standout games in game week 2 that we would like to talk about? Liverpool,
Nottingham
Manchester
Forest getting a
United,
win.
Man City, and come on, guys. Haaland is a beast, right?
Nottingham Forest got a win, man.
yeah, that was a good win for Forest. That's an impressive win.
But they were
I
battered by West Ham, right?
I heard an impressive stat actually. Right, all our fans loved Odegaard, right, saying he's our captain. No, blah 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 blah. Right, they forgot that our homegrown HLM boy Smith Rowe is now not getting a look in, and he's getting benched because of this guy. Right, and what's he done the first 2 games? All he's done is he's gone missing. I can't find him. Like someone fucking kidnapped him in Selhurst Park, and then someone kidnapped him at the Emirates. Right, can't fucking find him all across London, mate. Right, until he turned up at Coney and training on Monday, and I'm like, well, where the fuck were you on Saturday? Right, where were you last week? Right, whereas Emma Smith Rowe would have more of an impact, and I found out actually the stat: Dean Henderson, Nottingham Forest goalkeeper, has had more touches on the ball in the Premier League this season than Martin Odegaard. And this is supposed to be a brilliant midfielder.
Come on, Dean Henderson is playing for Forest. Of course, he has to have more touches.
Mate, he is exactly why I don't believe in Ben White. I don't believe in Rob Holding. I don't believe in in Xhaka. I don't believe in him either. They are not going to win us a league. They're not going to compete us for a league. And the reason I say that the compete us for a league is because that's my standard. I don't set top 4. That's just part of the process. Right?
When's your first game against the top 6 club?
Man United, I think.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, hang on. Top 6 club. Hang on, I need to look.
Top 5 club. Top 5 club.
Yeah, top 5 club.
Rephrase that. Please rephrase that.
Yeah, I'm expecting to beat them home and away this season. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, we should have beaten home and away last season. So
actually, our first game is you lot. After Man United.
Right, okay. October, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's October at the Emirates, so you're getting battered.
Oh, okay.
Well, this is a game where the three grounds that we have most troubles with is Stamford Bridge, the Emirates, and Anfield.
No. To be fair, it is Conte. Last season it was with Santo, wasn't it? So
it was.
Yeah, it was against.
Hey, mate, that cheered me up in hospital, mate. That's exactly what I mean. I was doing the watch along in hospital, and all the doctors were saying is like, "Do we know how to turn this off in case you have a cardiac arrest?" It's like, "Oh, you didn't want to bother trying saving us?" And like, let's stuff with the things live. Mate, just save us, like for God's sake. Like, I'm more worried about leaving the streams going at the same time. Like, clear. You know what I mean? Like, careful, we might have to give you a kiss of life live on air. Like, you know what I mean? I said,
that will really boost, Stephen. That will really boost your subscribers.
Oh, mate, that would, wouldn't it? I said that is a desperate way to get some subs, isn't it? That's all I did it for. I did it for attention.
Yeah, I still remember I did the first time when I did the show with Stephen, right? He was actually in the hospital. Oh dear.
Mate,
but
that's the thing. I was in the hospital at the time because
yeah,
I had a clot. I think a clot. But yeah, I was having
they call you Thai, right?
It was Tottenham versus
Yeah.
Tottenham versus Arsenal that weekend. So I was like, "Fuck this! I'm doing it in here, mate."
Yeah, and then you see the nurses shouting at him. You can hear it in the background. Oh dear. But those at least you're back home now, right? At least you're back home now. Let me see who else joined us in the back. Right. Oh, we've got Arthur. Hi, Arthur.
Hey,
We got Arthur. Nah, we were just going through some
so I'm
matches
more
from
Spurs fans.
last
I
week.
can take you all on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Steven, back to the good old days, right?
Thing is, though, Stephen, after Sunday, we're probably more preoccupied with Chelsea at this moment in time.
Yeah, the truth, right?
Cheers, WWE.
Yeah, Steven spelled with a V. Yeah,
Yeah, V,
yeah,
mate. His Odegaard rated. He's a really weird player. Mate, he is overrated. He hasn't. I just repeat the same. I'll repeat the stat. He has had less touches on the ball this season than Dean Henderson in the Premier League. A
yeah,
fucking goalkeeper.
yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
telling me
Just Arthur,
he's our
hold on,
captain.
hold on, Steven. Arthur, you have to switch off your background sound. I think you have your another the channels on in the back or somewhere.
TV.
Right.
I've been watching England win gold.
And of course I
Hi,
have my
Hey.
hello.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Gugama.
Yeah.
Hi, Steve. Hi,
Right.
King Arthur.
Steven.
Hey,
Hi, the traveling and the blues traveler.
hey, who's that?
No,
Yeah.
Brad,
Blues
because
Brad.
he's into the blues, and there's a famous group from the 90s called Blues Traveler.
A special gentlemen, just a special request. Hi, Gugama.
Hi, Arthur. It's great to see you.
Are you well? Are you well?
Yes, I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Good. Well, I'm waiting to see your lovely face.
Okay.
Well,
And what
no,
do you think? Who out of two he is?
Arthur, that won't happen.
Ella Bismick? Ella Bismick, what does that mean? Ella
Arthur, I'll WhatsApp you. I'll WhatsApp
Okay.
Arthur, it won't happen live on a blog because no one can match your beauty.
I feel ill.
Okay, since Arthur and Jamie just joined us, right? We were just talking about Manchester United and then after Liverpool, right? About Liverpool. Any thoughts on the Manchester United and Liverpool game, guys? Jamie?
My thoughts are, even though it's maybe jumping the gun a bit, I think Ten Hag is high on the list for the first manager to be gotten rid of because the Glazers won't change their tune, and they'll just put the blame on Ten Hag. They'll make him a scapegoat.
Totally agree.
I was about to say we've got Conte, but then I realised you're a gooner, so I'll shut my mouth.
Mate, I've got deluded fans saying that Arteta is better than Conte, for God's sake. Leave Jesus Christ.
No, you know that you have Gabriel Jesus. No, you don't have the other one.
But when you've got Martin Keown sitting there saying I wouldn't actually say I would swap Arteta for Conte when he first came in. No wonder you've got deluded Arsenal fans saying Arteta is better than Conte.
No, I think Keown would probably be singing his most famous hit. I'm the king of the swingers, the jungle VIP.
Only a certain few people will remember that.
Oh dear! Of course, I remember that.
I think I've seen twins: Martin Keown and Diego Costa.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Mate, Costa. As much as I hate Costa, he was a quality player.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's a sort of player. It was a sort of player that everyone would hate unless they were in his own team.
He was a bastard. He was a bastard.
Well, listen. We've learned some lessons. That's why, excuse my French now, we're learning shithousery.
Exactly.
Which is what
Excuse me, Arthur. That's not French.
German.
Yeah.
But we've been the cleanest, nicest club over the years.
It's all right. It's all right, Arthur. I'll pull your hair. See if it's clean and fair.
Oh, no, listen. No, we're getting in on the act now, like Costa and all the others, digging eyeballs out. Let's have it. Bring it on.
Well, that's right.
They've never done a thing like that.
Did you
By
see
the way,
the
if you can hear, it's Chelsea tears outside at the moment. It's raining Chelsea tears really heavily.
No, it's probably the tears of Cucurella when he's still like touching his follicles. Not that I've got any.
Be honest. How can you run around with hair like that?
I can't. Not for 25 years.
It's awful. He's supposed to be a man.
Could be worse. He could be Fellaini.
Looks like a little girl.
Okay, sorry, Gugamar. We're getting a bit boy school or schoolboy. Schoolboy.
No, but to tell the truth, right? I think most probably Tuchel will most probably get Cucurella to get his hair cut, right?
Yeah.
When the next thing comes
out. Cucurella, to be safe, should go to my barber.
Eugene, do they make a lawnmower strong enough?
What?
The thing is, I mean, it's that the Chelsea fans that are crying these Chelsea tears over it. I mean, they've been doing the dark arts for years.
Absolutely.
So it's like, well, okay, that's on the bum now.
I'm trying to get my wife on the camera. She won't come.
AKA Battle of the Bridge.
Well, yeah, exactly. So, and it's about time we showed a bit of metal. I mean, okay. Yeah. The problem with the hair pull is that if it had been caught, they'd have had a free kick and we wouldn't equalise. So we've got to be a little bit careful there. But hey, that's football. That's how it goes sometimes. Football, unfortunately, football's not the beautiful game anymore. It's a game of win at all costs, and we're all in it. So.
And you have to be a master of the dark arts.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, well that's.
When we had Diego Costa, hang on. When we had Diego Costa on, we played him in 2016 at Stamford Bridge, I believe. They were having that shit season, weren't they? And the guy nearly took out our keeper with a high boot. He stamped on Gabriel, and then Gabriel just pushes him on the floor, acts like he's fucking dying, and Gabriel gets sent off. Yeah. He should have been off straight away. For the first incident, because he's nearly taken the keeper's head off.
Steve, I can't wait for the next game between your boys and ours.
Mate, I'm dreading it because you've got Conte.
No.
This is what I'm saying, and this is what I keep saying. You might get top 4 because I don't know, Chelsea might not be strong enough. Yeah, blah blah blah. Yeah. In the end, my question is, can Arteta beat Klopp, beat Pep, beat Tuchel, beat Conte
in an MMA competition?
No. To English Premier League title. Everyone that's so in love with this manager, right, and thinks he's saying he's taking us to the promised land, he's doing this, he's doing that, because apparently being in the Champions League is the be all and end all, right? It's like bigger than winning the actual league itself, right? I keep asking a question and said, all right, we get top 4, right? But to compete for a league, can your manager outclass these managers? They dodge the question every time because they know the word is no. They cannot beat those managers because those managers are better tactically and more elite than that novice, right? That prick that sits in the dugout and will stubbornly, even though he's got 32 players to play with, will stubbornly stick with the same fucking 11 all the way through the Europa League and all the way through the fucking league until we are literally so knackered halfway through the season, we're literally 16th. Because that's why only 2 seasons ago, last time we were in Europe.
Steve, you're positively glowing.
Mate,
I've watched the first.
I'm not being negative. I'm being fucking realistic.
Yeah.
He's a Tottenham mole.
I've watched the first two episodes of All or Nothing. I've watched the first two episodes of All or Nothing, and it's like watching. It's bizarre. It's just really, really bizarre. I'm sort of.
Mate,
if you're a player, seeing his team talks, like.
Mate, wait until you get to the You Never Walk Alone bit.
Oh no, I haven't. Yeah, I've heard about that. I mean, he started to use Venn diagrams and this sort of thing. Hang on a minute, is this football we're talking about?
Point. When I said this, when we were going to win the league at Old Trafford, right, or maybe even going to win White Hart Lane, right, or we won the league at Anfield. Did George Graham play You Never Walk Alone in the training session before it? Did Arsene Wenger play in 2004? Did he play and the Spurs go marching in the training pit? Did they play freaking Ferguson's favourite song before we went Old Trafford? No. So I'm sorry.
What do you mean? Donald, where's my trousers?
No, the coaches are sitting there saying it's a good idea, and I'll be sitting there and saying, "What the fuck are you on?"
He'll play Chas and Dave. Arteta will play Chas and Dave.
Sitting there giving it this one, right? Thinking, "Oh my god, he's so brilliant. Oh, he speaks so sense." What are you on
about? I think he's in the wrong club.
No, he should be a politician. He's a fucking persuasive speaker.
No. But okay, Jamie, what are you posting in the private chats? Has any news come up or something?
No, it's just little stuff about who we might be playing in the Champions League. The fact that we finally reached an agreement with Napoli regards Tango Ndombele, which everyone probably knows now. That it looks like Napoli's going to pay most of his wages.
Did you have
he's going to
be
on.
You mentioned the Champions League. Did you really have to?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he's going to be on loan for a year with an option to buy. But from what I heard in other articles, it was we pay 65 for him, and they're only going to have to pay 30 for him if they buy him.
Yeah.
Get him out of there.
It looks like we're on the verge of getting some guy, Ashley Phillips from Blackburn.
Anyone know anything about him?
No.
Well, just starlet, which basically means he's just filling up space for now.
It's not what we really need, is it, at the moment?
But on there's a channel, Sava channel.
Oh yeah, I know Sava.
Yeah, and it's talking about was it Milena? I can't even say his name. The guy from Lazio, Savic.
Morning.
And also the
Milenkovic.
No. The Milanoski or something like that from Atalanta.
Yeah, Milanoski, yeah.
And he was saying, well, considering we can spend 60 million on Richarlison, who's a luxury player, and a lot of Sava claims a lot of fans are saying we don't want him starting every game. And then surely we can spend similar money on these two guys who would turn us into a consistent, solid challenger.
Jamie, it's like Eddie's decided to fly out to buy a 19-year-old that's worth 33 million. Well, in 3 years' time, he could be worth 60 mil because apparently he's one of the best products coming out of Spain, right? And it's apparently a good discounted price. Then fine, but again, that's another 3 year 3 years down the line. We don't even.
Yeah, but Savic and this Malinovsky.
But the thing is that but yet we're still not moving one of my main targets, which is Paqueta and Tielemans. Right, we should be moving on either one of them or both, right? Because you can see in the Leicester game, we're still lacking that depth in the midfield, and it's as simple as that. But what I will say after you've gone on about the Champions League is, cheers for Champions League.
Yeah, what day is it tomorrow?
Thursday.
Yeah, exactly.
Thursday.
Yeah, exactly.
Can put our feet up then.
Mate,
No, but okay.
do you know why I was surprised at the end of the season, even though I was pissed off? It's because there's this dickhead of a manager. But now all of a sudden, everything's all forgiven. He's so much better now. Everyone seems to forget what this manager has done. 2 8th places and 5th after spending 380 million. 380 million for that.
Do you know what? Do you know why?
Wenger hardly spent any. I know it's a different market back then, right? But he hardly spent any money, and in 2 years he's gone and won us the goddamn league.
Do you know why Steve's so fired up tonight? Because he won't stop whining.
Oh, very good.
Because I get fed up with going on Twitter.
What's in your hand? Is that vino or Ribena?
No, that's Coke.
Coke.
Okay, well, from Manila, it looks like you're drinking wine.
Mate, I'm a liver face. Come on,
Jamie.
Yeah, but no, I knew you had health issues. I didn't know exactly what, so I apologise. So
anyway, look. Anyway, it's like I'm saying, like what I get wound up is when like you go on anywhere as a I'm an Arteta out. That's my opinion. I don't think he's good enough to win us a league. That's why I'm Arteta out. Right?
Okay, Steve, hold on tight. Gugama?
Hold on first. Gugama, you got to hop off for a while?
Yes, I just have some business I have to take care of. Sorry.
No problem, Gugama. We'll catch up with you later. Bye-bye. If you're still on, you hop on later. All right? Take care, Gugama. We'll catch up again later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you, darling.
Bye.
Oi.
Bye.
Arthur, you're married.
Oh,
my.
What's that got to do with it?
No,
that's Tina Turner.
Yeah, Arthur's old school. Like my late father. My late father used to call anyone that's female. My late father used to call darling all the time. Even people on the phone. All right, darling. So it's just a very old school sort of thing.
Either that or you was watching Blackadder.
Oh dear.
Darling. What?
I must say, this is a very boisterous session.
in the end, as I was saying, is like I give my opinion as someone who's Arteta because I don't believe that he'll win this league, right? And because you're Arteta, you're a wanker, right? You're a wanker, and you should go Sports. But you should piss off and go Sports Spurs.
Was that Ty talking to you?
Well, I'll tell you. Well, no. So I'll tell you what. No. If I've got to back this manager and I've got to lower my standards, why don't you lot piss off and go and Sports Spurs or something? I don't know. Because I'm keeping the standards of my football club. You don't like it, piss off.
Yeah. Steven's got very high standards, right? Yeah.
I'm getting fed up to the point. So you get abused for just having your opinion. Like
you all do get abused for your opinion nowadays.
Steve, that's common today. That really is.
It is. It's like just because you have a different opinion does not mean you can just all of a sudden throw like stupid homophobic comments or whatever or straight out back at us because you can't win an argument. You can't win a genuine debate.
No, there's all that sort of what to do before the match, and I agree with it to an extent, but it's weird. It's like you don't want to be called a snowflake, but at the same token, the call by Tottenham and the LGBTQ to stop us chanting about a certain world-altered profession amongst the men of Chelsea that we shouldn't be chanting. And I don't think that's right, but at the same token, again, it goes back to the anti-Semitic as well. We've got to find a way of showing our disdain and hate for other people without sinking to like disgusting levels.
Jamie,
in the end,
Steve, can I just jump in on this?
Yeah.
Jamie, you mentioned Chelsea. Excuse me. They can come to our ground and hiss and make us.
I know that was exactly what was being said in the article.
Nobody does anything though.
I've got a joke here from. It's about someone else. So I'll put the name Arteta in. Okay, I'm crying today because my daughter has been wearing a Arteta t-shirt. She's been spat at, had hot coffee thrown on her, a McDonald's milkshake emptied over, and she's been assaulted. I have no idea what's going to happen when she leaves the house.
Oh. Very good, very good.
Look,
All right,
in
all
the end, it's like anything, right? Like if the manager does well, I'll praise the manager. I've always done that, right? Right, and anyone that doesn't, go check my match reactions afterwards, right? Because I've always done that, right? I'm being very critical this season because it's the third season. We should be expecting top four, and he also did say we'd win the Champions League this season, so we ain't exactly doing that this season, are we? So, so I will be very critical this season because he spent enough money to get us in it by now, so he should be producing results.
Unless Gabriel does us wrong
Okay,
and
okay.
Well, no,
But
but,
starts moving forward.
hold on,
in the
hold on,
end, I'll
hold on,
praise
guys.
him and I'll
Yep.
criticize him in the end. Simple
Hold on,
as
guys.
that.
Just hold on for a while. Since Steven has come up with that subject, right? Steven, since you are the only Arsenal fan here,
Hmm?
after the first two games, your thoughts on the games and your thoughts on Arteta. You've not said enough about it.
Hasn't he just been talking about that for the past 30 minutes?
Yes, I know. I'm gonna rub it in again. No, seriously. I mean,
Go back 30 minutes ago.
no. What do you think about your new signings, right? And
I have my doubts about Jesus because he only scored over 20 goals in the season twice. So, and if we want someone who's going to be able to push us further and even towards the league, it's going to be something that needs to be scoring about over 20 goals just in the league, let alone just in a season. So he's done well so far. Like I said, it's 2 games. I'm not getting myself ahead of myself. Like we could have easily slipped up against Leicester, right? Conceding that goal. I like the way Leo Saliba reacted to it. Didn't drop his head, which shows that time at Marseille's helped him. Um, and look, in the end, we got the victory. But what I would expect from when we go back into the dressing room is that everyone will say absolutely well done, it's absolutely perfect. The only one will be pissed off at the fact that we conceded 2 goals and nearly slipped up was Ramsdale. And if that was any other manager, any other manager would yeah. Any other manager would sit there and go, "You done well, but you conceded 2 goals."
Scott,
You need to do
maybe,
better."
eh?
But this Arteta, I have my doubts whether he did that or not. But look, like I said, I don't think Arteta's good enough. And if Eric Ten Hag left Man United, I'll go get him in a heartbeat. Right, I'll get him in a heartbeat.
I prefer
Right,
to get him in
straight
a
away.
taxi.
Well, you know what I mean. But you know what I mean. But like.
I forgot you like this, Jamie.
But like I said, if he can get us competing for a league, right, and get us in the top four, and the next season try and push even towards competing for a league or towards that end, right, then I'll change my opinion. But until then,
Steve,
because that'll be the standard we're reaching.
The problem is, you virtually said this earlier, when all the top managers are taken.
But yeah, that's the point. We've let them all go. We've had a chance to get them. We had a chance to get Conte. We didn't take it. We had a chance to get Ten Hag. We didn't take it.
I vaguely remember you being linked with Klopp at one stage, weren't you?
Yeah, we tried a chance to get Klopp.
Guardiola.
Yeah, before they all went to Man City and Liverpool, but we didn't take it. And now look, and that's a product of us having no ambition at this club.
Well, you've only got to take the best example of that as well is you've only got to look at us Spurs, right? Conte's come in; he's changed us already. Already, a different psyche, different mentality.
No condiments.
Hang on a minute. It's taken us 380 million, and we still haven't reached Champions League when a Norwich manager.
And Man United spent 1 billion and they're still at the bottom of the league.
No. Yet Conte has bought 2 players, barely overspent over 100 mil, or not even 50.
Not even that.
And within half a season, has got you top 4.
Yeah,
more than what Arteta's done.
And we're in Champions League, so.
There you go. That's
more importantly, we seem like a club that's together now as well.
You're a twat for asking that sort of standard, which is what I've grown up on.
I think that Arsenal become complacent. It's not that they've lost ambition; they've become complacent.
It shows you
They
how
have
thick.
lost ambition. How
Steve?
many players have
But
let go?
okay,
of
I
this
got
club?
another question.
There's
I got
so
another
many
question
players
for
that have
Steven.
left this club saying there's no ambition at this
Yeah.
club.
Yeah.
Steve,
No, but,
it shows you how thick the opposition to you are.
yeah. No, but I got another
They
question
don't
for
bother
Steven.
checking the
Come on,
history,
Steven.
mate. You asked him Herbert Chapman. He's all no fuck. I had a guy
Question to
came
you,
on the
right?
other day. He didn't even know what we did in 1989.
Uh,
For fuck's
Steven.
sake!
Brought down the
Hold on,
Berlin
hold
Wall.
on, hold on, hold on.
I said, are you actually an Arsenal fan, or are you actually being a fucking idiot?
Okay,
Yeah.
the way I'm seeing it,
I'm being the latter.
hold on,
down.
hold
Sorry.
on, hold on. I got a question for Steven, right?
Well,
Now with Arteta there, right? What
Yeah.
I'm seeing, right? Arteta is trying to be MCTB.
he ain't worked this out. He ain't Pep.
No, he ain't Pep, but he's like trying to be.
Yeah, do you know why we got knocked out in Europa League? Because he tried to be like Pep, playing a false nine. He saw him do it the day before, so he thought, you know what? I'm going to do that with Smith Rowe. Though he's never played as a false nine before, I'm going to do that against Emery Villarreal. What happened? We got torn apart.
That's
Because
true. That's true.
he ain't good enough. He ain't that good.
Mhm,
Right?
mhm.
Don't
Okay.
forget, the one game he took over Man City was against Leon, for God's sake, and he lost that.
But okay, this
All he had
transfer
to
window.
do is follow Pep's instructions.
Okay, this transfer window, you're already taking 2 players from MCT, right? Next transfer window, you take another 2 players from MCT. By the time summer transfer window comes, you take another 2 players from
Eugene,
MCT.
Eugene, no, Eugene. We could get literally 10 Messis on that pitch. You still wouldn't beat Pep to a Chile title. I'm telling you,
Yeah, that's true.
he's
That's true.
tactically not good enough.
The only good thing I can say about Arsenal right now is your third team, your third kit, the black and gold. It looks very nice.
That one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not one.
Hey, it's the reason I'm not wearing it. It's because it's drying.
Yeah,
Oh, it's dry.
the
And by the
problem.
way, by the way, that was not spent on the Arsenal website, so it's all going down to Conte. That was spent on eBay. So
Yeah.
we get Nike. We get a halfway decent first kit, and to be honest, not that the third kit is bad, but it's too close to a JVC Arsenal top colour of blue.
With that badge on it.
No, the nearest thing. No, well, whatever. Well, I suppose he's getting his own back on me. But yeah, but you know, you see some of the teams like PSG and Arsenal are still Nike.
Really?
No, we're Adidas.
Okay. Well, but there's certain teams that have got Nike as their kit manufacturer, and far superior. And we constantly get a mixed bag. I mean, we've got the first team shirt, which is halfway decent. The second kit, which looks like a scuba diving outfit, and the third kit, which is more of a fashion T-shirt than a football kit.
Look at our third kit. I can't work out. We're going to play Bournemouth. We're wearing a pink and black, right? And it's
Okay, then I suppose that has to balance out. You get a nice black and gold kit, and then you get a pink kit.
Your kit against Palace look like Spurs.
It's really pale. It's a really pale pink, right? And this one's black, right? So we're playing Bournemouth. What one we gonna fucking wear? One looks nearly red, right, with black shorts, and one looks completely black which will clash with red and black.
What about the one you played against Palace? The one you ate Palace, that was literally like a Tottenham kit. That was
no, we're gonna have to get last year's yellow one for God's sake.
Yeah. I mean, white top, blue shorts, and white socks. From what I remember,
the goalkeeper at times was wearing. Last season, the goalkeeper we were so cheap. The goalkeeper at times was wearing our friggin' away kit.
Yeah.
Having said that, the Manchester United third kit, Man United third kit looks like all of them are wearing goalkeeper's kit.
And by the way, I did buy. So that's why I went and go on eBay and bought an 0102 Henri shirt, retro. So I never have an Henri shirt. So.
Okay. Did you see the Minions film?
Good old days.
That
was when it had the proper badge, not this crap.
Oh dear. Yeah. But of course, after we talk about the Arsenal game, right, and what Arsenal's been doing, I guess Arsenal's been doing quite well now. They're top of the league with MCT, right? Let's get to the Chelsea game. right? Of course, my thoughts on the Chelsea game is
Let's
very simple.
get ready to rumble. Let's get ready to rumble.
Yeah,
Right.
waiting for the rematch between Tuchel and Conte.
Oh,
We can
yeah.
insult each other.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, but for me, is that the Chelsea game we were spanked all over. All right, very simple, getting spanked left, right, center.
got anything
But
out of that
we
game.
still came up with a draw, right? And of course, with all the shithousery that happened, right? I'll put it to you guys on the
Yeah.
panel to have your
The four-
thoughts, right?
The
The first
4-4-2
question
cartoon,
Yeah.
where Romero's whipping Cucurella around all through the video.
All right. The first person I'll go to, I'll get Arthur. Arthur, your thoughts on the game?
They totally outran us in the and outplayed us certainly in the first half. Second half, it turned into, as you say, we injected some shithousery, and we played to the whistle.
You basically bought the ref.
No, I did buy him. What, Tottenham buying a ref? You must be joking.
We
They're
got him
all
on.
against us.
Mate, the first one was a free kick. Come on.
No, we got him on loan with an option to buy.
No,
It turned-
I heard.
it-
No, I
it
had
turned-
a Chelsea. We had a Chelsea fan on my show. I was on a show last night. There was a Chelsea fan on, and he just came on with "fuck Anthony Taylor." He said it's always fucking Anthony Taylor, fucking up in the FA Cup against Arsenal. I'm like,
I heard the ref turned up for his brown envelope on Sunday morning.
see, I told you.
I mean, the thing is,
paid him. That's what he's done.
I mean, Chelsea fans started a petition. I mean, for fuck's sake, that's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic.
You know what they call that? Cry, baby, cry.
Yeah.
What about, let's go back to the main event, which was the battle at the bridge, and it was a battle. They announced in the news they were going to stop us at all costs from winning the league.
Yeah.
They set out to do that, and they did that. They got 3 cards, we got 9.
Yeah. But they also said that before they were going to play Leicester.
Yeah.
Which could have been, it didn't turn out it wasn't, but it could have been pivotal.
Absolutely right.
To be fair,
but they were allowed to get away with that.
Leicester would have still beaten you to the title anyway.
But yeah, I got no.
Yeah, I've really given my theory on that.
Something's worth petitioning for. Like, for example, I remember
a statue of Greaves outside of the Spurs Stadium.
I watched F1, right? And after the end of last season,
yeah, you were really happy.
There was there were fucking petitions galore, right, about that getting result reversed because it was cheating. It was right. They broke their own rules to get an ending they wanted, right? Which is cheating. It's cheating, right? And half of that was because Red Bull were in their fucking ear.
Yeah.
Telling them what to do.
I totally agree with that, Steve.
And there's commentary. You can go on F1 TV. You can listen to the commentary. He's literally telling them how to fucking do.
Yeah.
Right?
And this is
let
not
people go and everything like that.
Because I'm a Spurs fan, obviously. Right. I still like Hamilton as a driver. I think he's a great driver. And I thought he was totally cheated out of that.
Arthur, I've grown up with watching him whilst being in hospital, so he's kind of a role model for me, right? For never giving in, right? And that was disgusting.
It was.
What they did was disgusting and daylight robbery.
Yeah.
And trust me, mate, I was so fuming, right? There was freaking, like, I was literally chucking stuff down the stairs. I was fucking fuming with it.
Yeah.
And this was live. I was fucking fuming.
I know.
With it.
I was with you on one of the shows.
It was disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
I was with Stephen with one of the F1
Well, it was terrible. It was the biggest fits I've seen in years.
And Eugene was stuck in Kuala Lumpur. He was like,
no, but that's something. That's something worth protesting. But a fucking football result, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
give me a break.
No, but coming back to that game. Okay,
actually,
coming back to the Chelsea
Eugene?
game. Yeah, Twin Towers. I see that. Yep.
At least if Max wins it this season, at least it's legit.
Yeah. He's really strong.
I ain't got a problem with him winning it if it's going to be like that, right? But if it's going to be like last season, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Technically,
it really tests my really test my love for the sport because I really, really thought it was honest and fair.
I did. Till I saw that.
Technically speaking, I think that petition's got 120,000 people signed it. So technically speaking, someone could actually table that in Parliament.
Yeah,
to bring it up in Parliament.
it's true. Yeah,
It's
You mean the F1 is out?
This is crazy. I mean, it's to have Anthony Taylor never ref a Chelsea game again. You know, it's like, oh, come on.
Oh, you mean the oh my God, there's 120,000. Okay.
It's pathetic.
Oh, to be fair, and I would sign a petition for Anthony Taylor. He's shit.
He's not my favourite referee, I must admit, but
he
you know,
he is a bull prick.
Oi.
right, on to the next topic.
Okay, let's get to Brad. Brad, your thoughts on the Chelsea game?
My thoughts on Chelsea game, I was disappointed in the fact that we'd all built ourselves up to think, yes, it's the time we're going to beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, blah, blah, blah. I never went for we're going to win 3 or 4-0, but I was confident that we could win there. So I'm disappointed with our performance, that we seem to have that mental block again. But I'm very pleased the fact that we kept at it, and we got the draw. Which at the end of the day, if you look at the records going to Stamford Bridge, you know, at the end of the season, a point at Stamford Bridge could be very, very handy. So yeah, I'm pleased with that. I'm pleased that we kept at it because let's face it, I feared in the first half it could have been like the Emirates last season where we were 3-0 down at half time, but we kept at it, and we got the draw. So last season that probably wouldn't have happened. So we're getting there. We're not there yet. We've got to improve. That was another thing. I looked at that game thinking, well, Tottenham can play better than this. You know, and if we can play better than that. We have to play better than that. We need to make sure that we go and beat Wolves on Saturday. Otherwise, that's, you know, it doesn't mean anything then.
I shall be there.
yeah, I'll be there if I can get past all the transport problems. But yeah, so I'm pleased that we got a point that the final analysis could be worth something. So it's tiny steps.
I've got a question for Arthur. Are you sure you're not at sausages?
Sausages?
Wolves. Sausages. Wolves.
No. That was wolves, not wolves.
Yeah, close enough for me to throw a look at it.
No.
Okay, Jamie. My question to Jamie: did you watch the match, Jamie, or are you still having that?
I was watching the We Are Tottenham TV watch along, and at the first it just seemed like we had the same old Chelsea jitters when we started the game, and when they scored the 1-0 half time, not so bad, but it still felt like, do I want to stay up this late for what I think is coming? And we came out there with a point, and no wonder the talking point was the Conte Tuchel fight, because that was more exciting than our play. Our play was, get out there with something by the skin of our teeth, and that's not the way we can play for the rest of the season.
The good thing also I thought about the game was the fact that we had players to come off the bench that are decent. You know, the players we brought on were decent players to come on. So, and also, I have to. I've said this on our other streams. I'll have a go at the celebration police that are out there. Oh, we should have seen them celebrating. Well, look, if you go to a game against your second rival that's really important, and they've outplayed you, and you get a last-minute equal. It wasn't even last minute; it's a last-second equaliser, and you don't celebrate like a mad fucker. Well, then maybe football's not for you.
That's it.
So, yeah.
Well said. And mixed with shithousery, it was absolutely super.
It was too much of the palpitations. I don't want us to spend the whole season having that much cardiac activity. So
a few beers helped, Jamie. To be fair,
Jamie, it's all about excitement.
Yeah. Well, that's it.
There's a difference between excitement and not S-housery, but
everyone's
bowel
going,
movement.
everyone's gone about the stuff with Conte and Tuchel and the FA. We know would give a bad impression about the Premier League. Everyone loved it. All the fans loved it. All the pundits loved it. So it's like, and as for the offside goal, technically speaking, he was in an offside position. He might have had an influence on whether the goalkeeper could see the ball or not. But hey, if you give offsides for that, then you're taking away the excitement of football. You're going to be marking off goals right, left, and centre. So
to me, that was like a good old-fashioned derby. That
it was.
Yep.
More of it.
Yeah.
No, I just think that it's all the anticipation going into the game and the start of the game just said to me, how much have we really changed? How much do we still have to change? By the end of the game, I was happy to get a point. But no, I don't want. And then was it Chris Cowlin shows the front of the Times Sports Supplement saying not so Spursy.
That was the thing, wasn't it? That was the whole point about the game. The fact that we got the point, played badly and got the point. I know it's a cliche, but good teams play badly and get a point. How many teams have we, when we were down mid-table, we probably played teams, the big teams come to Tottenham, and we've actually outplayed them, and yet they've drawn or they've got a win or whatever. So
I don't want us to have to go through that much heartache for the rest of the season.
I don't think we will. I think we'll get it right. We're on the way. We're gradually getting there.
Getting better.
I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example though. Right, even when we went invincible, there were games where we were poor, and we were lucky to get a point. Like, for example, like we could have our run could have ended literally right at the start with Man United, right? But we managed to get away with a point. And the champion teams are the teams that have been able to play really badly but still be able to get away with a point or 3 points. And look, my feelings are, I do feel the first goal, it was a free kick on Havertz. The equalising goal of the first one. I don't really care like how long it took. It was still part of one flowing movement of play. But the whole build up of it. So if Chelsea had an interception, that's a different change of play, right? And then you can have an argument, but there wasn't from that point. So for me, if the foul didn't happen, if he didn't foul him like that, Tottenham would never have scored the goal. As simple as that. So,
but the thing about that particular, I mean, Anthony Taylor let an awful lot go. That wasn't the only tackle that was on both sides. He let a lot go.
But it's a North London. Yeah. It's just like if you play a North London derby. If you play a North London derby, I expect the ref to give a lot. Like,
I thought it was a free kick at first.
Do you know why people don't get that excited between Man City and Liverpool? Because they're too respectful to each other. Right? The people loved Ferguson and Wenger. It was box office back in the day, right? Because they hated each other. They respected each other, but they hated each other. You had the pizza getting God knows what else, right? Right? And the players hated each other as well. They wanted to beat each other. That's what made it box office for the Premier League. Whereas Klopp and Pep's teams, they're too nice. Right? They're too nice. Even the Man United game, even the Man United Liverpool game, where we'd expect Liverpool to actually annihilate them, but even still, like the players don't seem to really get how much the fucking fans hate each other.
Steve, they're antiseptic.
The other thing about the foul, the first goal was that that's not it's not our problem if Chelsea get the ball in the box and the guy tries to do a Cruyff or whatever it was, tries to step over the ball and loses the ball, and then we scored. So it's not our fault they did that. And as far as the hair pull, well, okay, moan about the hairpole that wasn't seen, they still have to defend the corner. So it's not our, so
Absolutely right.
it's Chelsea tears. It's Chelsea tears again. So
yeah. So I think we've gone through the game week 2 review, right? I guess
Over
this
to
was
you,
a very nice
Jimmy.
review.
we haven't talked about Leeds versus Wolves.
Oh, fuck that.
Oh yeah, who cares about that, right? But okay,
I
guys,
I
let's
cheered-
let's
I-
let's
I was
yes,
just going to
Arthur?
say, I cheered for Forest. That was a good win.
Yeah, that was a
Played
good win
well.
for Forest. Yeah, but Forest were more or less dominated, I guess.
Yeah.
Declan Rice misses a penalty and all that, and hitting the post 3 times or the bar 3 times. So let's say that. I mean, Forest wrote their luck too, I guess, in that game, right? But let's go through the game week 3 games coming up, right? The first game will be Spurs Wolves. Second, after that will be Crystal Palace Villa, Everton Nottingham Forest, Fulham Brentford, Leicester Southampton, Bournemouth Arsenal, right? Leeds Chelsea, West Ham Brighton, Newcastle Man City, and of course on Monday, it will be the big game that most probably we predicted is going to be called off, right, due to circumstances, right? Manchester United, Liverpool. So I guess in this game, in this next game week 3, which are the games that we shall talk about? I guess since we're Spurs fans, it will be the Spurs Wolf game, and of course with Stephen along, we will talk about the Bournemouth Arsenal game. Anybody want to talk about the Newcastle Man City game, and of course the Manchester United Liverpool game? So let's go to the games that don't involve us first. Newcastle, M City. Any of you guys have any interest in that game?
Well, obviously we don't want Man City to win, do we? So that's about it, really.
3-1 to City.
Yeah, I can't see them not winning that, but hey, never know.
Yeah. Jamie?
No, I'm not going to change the direction of the opinion.
Okay.
Still, yeah, Newcastle will probably show flashes of promise, but ultimately they'll be
hammered.
Yeah.
All right. Stephen, any thoughts on that? Newcastle M City? I think Stephen's asleep. Are you asleep, Stephen? Okay.
I'm here.
All right.
It's a tough test. It's a tough test for
Newcastle.
Newcastle. But it's to see how far they come.
Okay. It'll be good. It'll be good. Right.
All
right.
I expect. I mean, who they playing again? Sorry?
Newcastle M City.
Yeah. I mean, as much as it's going to be difficult, I just see Man City over steamrolling them. I mean, Erling Haaland's like on fire. If he's not scoring, he's assisting.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think that combination will work again.
All right. And then the next game we'll go to most probably is the MU Liverpool game. Any thoughts on it? Will it be postponed, cancelled, revised?
Postponed.
Stephen says it'll be postponed.
I'm going to say postponed.
Liverpool 4-0.
It'll probably be a 2-2 draw.
I might go for a draw, actually.
Yeah, I see it's a 1-1 draw.
Okay, I'll get off this one.
Oh, he's going to get up for this one. All right. Steve's going to get up for this one. You okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Have you got full screen?
Yeah. All right, go full screen. Okay, let's go full screen on Steven.
Man United 0, Liverpool 7. And I'm just being generous to Man United.
Just being generous. All right. Just being generous.
Mate, they just got spanked 4-0 by Brentford. What makes you think they're going to survive against Liverpool?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I expect us to walk all over them home and away.
Yeah,
if they play like they are right now.
Yeah, let's see. And of course,
when I was
watching
Brentford Man United,
that's not being arrogant. That's just looking at the facts.
Yeah. When I was watching Brentford Man United, I was actually looking at the fixtures. When do we play them? When do we play them?
And of course, Stephen, the next game.
Chance to play them.
Yeah.
What's that?
You're playing Bournemouth away.
Could be a tough encounter actually.
Really?
Could be an easy trip. It can be one you can slip up on easily.
Yeah.
If you're not careful. But then I've looked at Bournemouth's squad and it's poor. It is poor.
Okay.
It's a lot of championship players, to be honest.
Okay,
I
so you
have
don't see.
expected them to go down. So I'll go 3-0 Arsenal.
Of course, that looks very strong.
But that's I'm not
Especially the
fully
form that
certain
you're
on
running
that.
on now, right? Yeah, with the
It's
form that you
usually
guys
two.
have. At the
It's usually 2-3-0. We usually get about 2-0 up, and then we just start sitting back and trying to. Well, he tries to game manage the thing, but game management is another thing sometimes.
moment. And for rest of the Spurs fans with me, any thoughts of the Bournemouth Arsenal game?
I mean, yeah, Bournemouth could give them a game, but I expect Arsenal to win.
Okay, Jamie.
Arsenal 3, Bournemouth 1.
And Jamie?
No comment as long as they don't come away with 3 points.
They will.
Jamie will always be Jamie, right? And of course, Spurs Wolves game, right? This will be interesting because I guess if we don't appeal on, I think if we don't appeal by Thursday, right?
Yeah,
Conte
they've
will
got,
be.
they've got to appeal.
If we don't appeal, Conte will be he won't be allowed to be in the dugout, so he will most probably be sitting in the director's box or somewhere with the fans at home. That'll be fun.
Let's just look at what happened. It really kicked off when they went to shake hands, and he,
Pulled him back.
pulled him back. Yeah, tried to crush his hand.
Well,
so I thought.
I think it was. I think it started from the first equaliser. I think. And
yeah, no, the first equalizer, both of them got the yellow card. Yeah,
I'm
both of them got
saying
the yellow card.
it was bubbling. It was already bubbling by that point.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But the actual incident was at the end of the game.
Yeah, I know, but it's the second equaliser like tipped it off. But
They also
it all started.
What about Tuchel running all the way down the stretch?
Yeah. But also, one article says apparently Conte was telling the Chelsea bench to F off through most of the game.
No, I imagine most of the fans were as well. You know, if you're a Spurs fan, you're probably doing the same thing. So, you know, it's why should football coaches and football players be any different from any other human being? You know, so.
I hope.
Do you know what? I remember.
I hope by that statement that they weren't saying Chelsea were innocent, because I'll throw up all over this screen.
Well, even Conte was indicating that this is just like the players. We're having a battle. It's just part of the game. So
yeah. Do you know what? I mean, and I'll go back to like the other sport I watches, right? I remember it was way back. It was about 4 years back. It was after a Grand Prix, and I think Hamilton finished on the podium. He saw the highlight of where Max had cut across him and nearly took his front wing off, right? And it caused Max a puncture. And when he saw that incident where he was left no room, he just you could hear him in the cool down room call him a dickhead, right? And then someone in the media, a journalist, wanted to try and get a story out of it by saying like, "What do you mean by calling him a dick?" Like, and Vettel, to be fair to him, and this is why I loved Vettel as a person, he came straight, and even though he's his rival, he came straight in there, and he went, "Well, if you listen to football fans on the football player on the pitch when he fouled someone, do you think he's going to go, oh yeah, that's all right, that's okay? No, you're going to hear him go like, fuck you, right? So, right, I don't appreciate when we're full of adrenaline, you fuckers try and make a story out of fucking nothing." And it's exactly the same here.
Absolutely true.
Yeah. I personally don't think any.
I can't stand journalists. They don't give a fuck about who they hurt or who they care about. As long as they get their pictures, as long as they get their story, they don't give a fuck. Like, so say for example, someone's like a relative died or something in a disaster, right? And like all of a sudden, the media will come around the house and they'll be constantly knocking on their door, even though they're not going to get anything. And they've been told to fuck off. They're still knocking on the door. And they say, how about I knocked on your door when you're trying to grieve, you motherfuckers? Yeah? And ask for a picture, ask for a story, ask for a line. Right? The media have got no fucking respect for anyone. All they care is about how many clicks and views they can get out of their story.
I mean, Paul
Some of them are just scum. They don't give a fuck.
Paul Gascoigne had to have counselling because he had for thinking his phone was tapped, and he had to have counselling, and it actually turned out, they're saying, "Oh, you're delusional, mate," and it turned out it was right. His phone was being tapped.
No, one time, I was watching Emery had just been sacked, and AFTV were like all the other journalists around were waiting for AFTV to do their interviews and stuff and do what they were doing on the game, right? Moose Talksport, right? Whilst they were recording like someone's reaction to a fan's reaction to the sacking, right, of Emery, right? During the interview, it doesn't give a fuck that they're recording an interview. It just comes spouting straight in and said, "Robbie, what do you think about Emery getting sacked?" And you got Jim White on the other end of the phone. And yet these fuckers, then later, 2 months, 3 months later, calling out these fuckers for being too negative, right? And having an opinion on the manager. Well, hang on. You wanted our opinion 3 months ago, and now all of a sudden you're saying we're not allowed opinion, right? Like fucking Simon Jordan. Honestly, don't even get started on him.
But okay, let's go around the panel. The Wolves game.
The only thing Simon Jordan needs to do is get back on the fucking Sunday.
All right, back to the Wolves game. Steven, do you think we'll beat Wolves?
Do you think I'm not saying that on camera. No. Wolves are winning. You're never getting me to say that on camera. No. I don't care if it's fucking Marine, mate. Like, I'll say 1-0 Marine. Like,
Eugene's got an edit suite. He'll just piece a few words together and make it
sound like I remember Tottenham fan used to come in my chat and he said, "Oh yeah, look, he scored a hat trick." So it's who is it? One of their strikers who was shit. Like, and he scored a hat trick against Marine, and I'm like, "You scored a hat trick against Marine. You're gonna win fuck all." And he's like, "We're gonna win everything. We're gonna win the quadruple." And I'm like,
that's the Spurs equivalent.
But
of
we are.
on AFTV.
And I went, mate, like you couldn't win a paper fight. So shut the fuck up.
You couldn't fight yourself out of a paper bag.
Yeah.
But with due respect, Steve, that was history. It's now that counts.
Yeah, it's not even a quadruple now.
I mean, the thing is, for anyone that says we haven't won a trophy, well, we've only played 2 games, so it's a bit difficult.
Trust me, when it all fell apart in the space of 1 week, I said, "I thought you were supposed to win a quadruple, mate." He said, "Oh, actually, I meant a double."
No, that's probably what you'll need after a bad game.
And then he's like, "I did say that." Well, here's the quotes, mate. Like,
all right. I'll get Arthur. Score predictions.
Yeah, I won't. I'll be like Steve, and I won't say it, but Wolves will lose 4-0.
Okay. Brett.
Well, I said at the start of the season that we have to look at winning all our home games. I know that's not going to happen, but we have to look at every team we play at home that we should be winning. Even your Liverpools, even your Man Cities, we should be winning our home games. So I think we should win on Saturday. But it's still a game that you think, well, everyone's going to turn up. It's going to be a big party atmosphere. Oh, yeah, we're going to win this easy. I remember that against Brighton last season. We all know what happened there. So Tottenham have got to be measured, controlled.
Just say it's your cup final, then you're definitely going to lose.
Well, yeah.
Nah, don't go there.
And yeah, I think we should win, but it's not going to be an easy game. We need to score first. Once Tottenham take the lead, then the other team's got to come on to us, and that's when we're at our most dangerous, when the team has to attack us. So we need to score first. So, but I think we can win. I just hope I can get there. That's all.
Brad, with due respect, we've now got Conte in charge. He's had a seat. He's had a transfer window almost to sort it out, and I think we're just going to get better and better.
I think you're right. I think you're right. But we just got to avoid this. Certainly the fans, anyway. Got to avoid the complacency of every game we play, we should be winning it 4 or 5-0 because it ain't going to happen that way. having said that, I'm quite happy to see us win
Do you
4 or
mind
5
if I
nil on
just go
Saturday.
outside and throw up?
But we should be winning. We should be winning on Saturday. If we don't win on Saturday, when there's something still not right at Tottenham, so we should be winning.
And before I end the show, any last thoughts from you guys? Brad, Stephen, Arthur?
Yeah, I've got one. Looking through YouTube earlier on, there is talk that we're after 2 more players, and quality players as well. And they're trying to do, or Paratici is sort of burning the midnight oil, trying to do some deals. So I don't know who they are yet, but we will see.
Come on, Garfer, you just woke Steve up. you went like that, and you went, okay.
I got one more thing. Let's all laugh at United. Let's all laugh at United. La 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 la.
Yeah, then we can agree on that.
Okay. And of course, Brad, any last thoughts before I put you in the back?
Yeah, I'm still confident this season. And that's you know me. I'm normally quite negative, having been a Spurs supporter for most of my life. But I'm sort of I'm confident. I'll be happy if we can get 3rd and win a trophy this season. And who's to say that won't happen? So I'm still confident.
All right. And guys, I'll just put you in the back room. Jamie and I do the closing. I'll catch you later, all right? All right, Jamie. I haven't seen you some time. Missed you last week, right? But last week I more or less was overbooked with. Last week was a weird scenario for me.
United Nations or the club conference.
Yeah, club conference, and I was the only Spurs fan there until Ian came along and helped me. Right, I was I was surrounded by all that.
Just get in before you shut things out. I'm thinking it's going to be 3-2 or 2-1 to us.
Yeah. For me, it's I would love a clean sheet. Right. Yesterday I was on Sava's show, talking about Wolves and all that, giving us a hard time last season and beating us and all that. I would love a clean sheet. I wouldn't mind a 1-0 scoreline, right, and keep a clean sheet, at least to show that we have a proper defense at the moment, right? But before we end the stream, let's have a shout out to all the guys in the chats, right? Big up to Ellie, Steve, you're funny.
Coffee.
Yeah.
Gugama. We got Steak. We got Alan. We got old Alan Harris.
Okay, I gotta say a big up to Statman Stubbs. Another Steven, right? He's a Liverpool fan. Thanks for the support.
Scott M in Alberta. Kieran McDonald.
Oh, Kieran, big up to Kieran too.
Chris Agamba.
Kieran, big up to
Bobby K and his boys. Lisa.
Boys and Lisa.
We got KR4CH.
Puguma, Lisa, and Cratch. KR4CH. Where's Cratch? KR4CH. Big up to KR4CH.
Brian Daigle dropped a couple of lines.
Yeah, Brian Daigle. Yep, he was preparing for work. Right. Brian Daigle's preparing for work. Where's Brian Daigle?
And Coach's Corner.
Yes, and of course, Coach's Corner. Coach's Corner is Hanno, right? And Bobby K. He's the guy I did the watch along with on Sunday, right? So it was quite fun, right? And of course, don't forget Alan Harris. Yeah, big up Alan. Right, thanks for support. And of course, Coach's Corner, right? Yeah. Coach's Corner. Right. And of course, my thoughts is that, of course, come on, you Spurs. And hopefully, without Conte on the bench, we can still beat Wolves.
Come on, Spurs.